Okay, here's the deal for today. I worked from 5 a.m. to 12. I thought I was gonna film a certain video after, and then I realized after that I wouldn't be able to do it until a few days from now. So that idea got thrown out, and I needed to relax anyway because I worked at 5 a.m. So I took a little bit of a breather and I sat down at my bed, and in a few hours I'm gonna go hang out with friends, and then I'm going to go hang out with my best friend for the night. So we're on kind of a timetable. Also, I'm still pretty exhausted, and I want to stay pretty leveled out right now because I want to save all of my excitement for later when I'm seeing the people. In lieu of that, we're doing the ultimate Gilmore Girls tag, because all I've been doing since I got home from work is literally just lay in my bed and try and sleep while having Gilmore Girls on in the background, so it just seems appropriate. I was tagged by Alyssa from Pucks and Paperbacks. Please check her out. If you don't know who she is, she's a very kind person who I've been subscribed to for a while, and I just appreciate her. Check her out. This isn't a book tag, it is just a Gilmore Girls tag. So if you don't like Gilmore Girls, I'm sorry, but you know, check it out. But I have a full cup of coffee here. This is my second cup, along with this 32-ounce French press, which is just gonna keep the coffee going, which is very Gilmore Girls-esque. So here we go. So first are some basic questions. How did you discover the show? I discovered the show last year. It's been one of my best friend's shows for a very long time. So I knew what the show was, but I wasn't exactly interested in it. And then I heard from other people how witty it is. And I was like, I do enjoy the wit. So I decided to check it out on Netflix. And I started the first episode, and I just didn't stop. It just kept going. It had been a very long time, probably since Friends or The Office, that I had watched a show that was that sitcom-esque, and I missed it, and it was wonderful. And it didn't have a laugh track, and it was wonderful. I did a reaction right after like watching the last episode last year, so I will link that down below because I just didn't even have words coming out of my mouth. Second question, do you own the collection? I do not, because it's on Netflix, and that's it. What is your favorite season? I thought long and hard about this one actually, and I went with the third season, which is the season where Rory graduates from Chilton. It also has the dance-a-thon episode in it, which is probably one of my favorite episodes. And that's where she sort of goes from one boy to the other, and that whole thing sprouts, so that's the thing. I'm going to say right now that I'm going to have spoilers in this. I think otherwise it's going to be too difficult as we keep going on within the questions. My least favorite season, I don't know. A lot of people hate season 7. I don't hate season 7. If anything, it's different and people are going through different things, but I don't necessarily think that the characters did a bad job with what they were given as far as the writing goes. My favorite episode, like I said, probably the dance-a-thon episode, but then another one of my favorite episodes is when Rory's in the DAR and she does this whole like 1920s theme for an event that she throws. I really like that one too. I love all the event types of episodes. Luke's Diner Dash, lightning round. Favorite character? Lorelai. Least favorite character? Why do I have to think fast? Probably Dean. Dean's honestly the first person that came in my head. That might not be fair. Dave or Zack? Zack, obviously. Luke or Christopher? Luke. Dean or Jess? Neither. I really dislike them both. Lorelai or Rory? Lorelai. Opinions. Do you think Lorelai overreacts with her parents? No, not really. I think that she sees them in a different light than everybody else sees them, and I think that's totally valid. And it's a very realistic thing for people to go through, and I think it was really smart for them to write the character in that way, where we see Emily as like pretty likable at times, but then Lorelai still sees her as how she saw her when she was 16. Do you think Emily and Richard overreacts with Lorelai? Again, I think this is one of those things where you just have to be in their shoes, and yeah, I do think that they overreact, just because I would relate more to Lorelai than I would her very conservative parents. But stepping into their shoes and what they grew up with, they are in no way overreacting. So again, this is such a perfectly written show. In the big fight that Rory and Lorelai had, whose side were you on? Lorelai's. It's just like Rory didn't realize what a mistake that she made, but then she was extremely sorry because she realized it afterwards. She was just like, she messed up. But it's a part of growing, and those were very important growing years for her, and she learned from them. But Lorelai clearly totally right. In a fight between Taylor and Mrs. Kim, who would win? I want to say Mrs. Kim so badly. I think, though, I'm siding more with like Taylor winning, just because we had never seen Taylor in emotional upset like we've seen Mrs. Kim in emotional upset. Mrs. Kim had her mother show up with the whole Buddhist thing, and the mother had to like bow down and go into like an entire Buddhism mode. We had never seen Taylor in that sort of form. Either that or I can't think of an example like that right now. Oh, you know what? When he lost the election, I remember that. Ugh, I don't know. That's so hard. They're two completely different people. Who would spread the fastest rumor, Babette or Mrs. Patty? Mrs. Patty. Totally Mrs. Patty. I mean, Babette's great at spreading rumors too, I bet, but I don't know. How much do you dislike April? I don't really. Again, I think in her situation, like, her reactions towards things was totally valid. Like, she didn't want Lorelai throwing that party, and that's a totally valid thing because all of the other parents didn't know her and she didn't know her, so why would that in any way be appropriate? But we didn't see it that way. Again, show is so brilliantly written. Revival round! How excited for the revival are you? Extremely excited. I feel like I talk about it at least once a day. The fact that it's been such a huge part of my life for the past like year and a half, and the fact that it's been a show that I have consistently watched like by myself, and it's been my show for me to watch for me, it's gonna be a really powerful thing. And whether or not it's incredible or whether or not I'm like slightly disappointed, I'm just so excited that it's gonna be there, and I'm gonna have new content from these people that I've spent time with so often for the past year and a half. If you could have dinner with any cast member, who would it be, and what kind of questions would you ask them? Oh my god, these questions are so good. I think I would want it to be Lane, because Lane seems like the best friend you could ever possibly have ever, and she had just grown so much, and I feel like she's going to be such a mature character and very knowledgeable about life. I'm so down for that. How do you want it to end? I don't want Rory to fall in love with any of the people that she has fallen in love with in the past. I want them to just be like the ghosts of the past, and I want her to have some closure with all three of them. And I want that to be it. I just want her to have closure with these people. I want Luke and Lorelai to be happy. They need to just last forever. So that needs to stay put. I don't need her to run. I need her to stay right there with Luke till the end of time. And that's it. I don't know. I just want them to be happy. I feel much more alive after that conversation about Gilmore Girls, to be honest, because I was in like serious sleep mode. But now I think I'm a little bit ready to get up and have burritos and enjoy a good night with wine and friends. Thank you again to Alyssa for tagging me, and if any of you guys want to do this tag, please feel free to do so. I'll leave all the questions down below. If you watch Gilmore Girls, please let me know what you think about any of these questions. Pick some and leave some comments down below about them. I love talking about Gilmore Girls. It's just fantastic. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.